Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Art Whisper 88. Now, these are my two Sharpie pens. One is a thinner one, and this is the Magnum fat one. And I'm going to do an experiment. I deliberately did not clean my plate from the last session, and I want to see what the result will be. Let me make some marks here with my Sharpie pen. That's a nice fat line. It's almost half an inch. Okay, that's it for the fat line. Now for the skinny line. Okay, so this will serve as the foundation or the scaffolding for this composition. And since this is alcohol based, I'm going to give it a minute or two to dry because I don't want it to smear when I put the second layer of paint. So I will be back in a few minutes, so don't go away. Okay, this is acrylic titanium white. This is extremely opaque. Now, I rarely use this because I favor more semi-transparent paints, but since this is a very bold graphic statement, I'm going to try it. And hopefully the paint that I left behind, which I didn't clean up, will pick up as well. Now, since the plate is still fairly oily, the acrylic white is making these lacy patterns. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but in this case, I don't want it to be too lacy. I want the paint to take. Okay, just to add some additional texture, I will use my silicone tool. That is, if I can find it. I'll just have to use my new one. Oh, here it is. Again, this is my Richardson watercolor paper, and I am using the smooth side. The pebbly side is what faces you. Let me straighten this out. I think this is crooked. Sometimes these guides, they tend to move, especially when I'm cleaning. Okay, so I'll leave this on for about 5 minutes because I want the paper to have a chance to absorb the pigments. Okay, actually it's been over 5 minutes. Let's see how this worked out. The plate is sticking to the paper, but hopefully it will just release without tearing. Now it did pick up some of the residue, which was my intention. There's a little bit of tearing here. Oops. Let me try it from the other side. Yep, this is tearing. Okay, it wasn't too bad. The key here is not to panic when your paper starts to tear. All right. Oops. Could be worse. So what I will do is take some Mod Podge. This is a brand new bottle. So I'm just taking a little bit on my finger and dabbing it. There. There's another tear. Now, had I left this on even longer than 5 minutes, it would really be bad. So there's a fine line between leaving it too soon and taking it off, leaving it too long. So anyway, I will let this dry and figure out the next step. Okay, I found this scrap of warm-up exercise. I think this would look good here. Let me just trim it down a little bit. Just as a counterbalance to this. So here's my bristle brush. Okay, that's it for the balancing element on the left side. Okay, everybody, here we are at the next segment. Now, knowing myself, I could not leave well enough alone. And believe it or not, I do talk to my artwork. You may think I'm crazy, but I did ask the artwork what it needs, and it tells me. Sometimes it will say, that's enough, stop, and I will respect its wishes. But this time I think it needs another layer, and I'm going to do an experiment here. This is Chromacryl Clear Gel Medium, and this was a generous gift to me from another viewer. Very kindly gave me this gel medium. Now what I'm going to do is mix this clear gel medium with bronze. This is Soho acrylic bronze. I want to increase the transparent nature of the paint because metallic paint sometimes can be very opaque. So by adding the clear gel medium, I want it to be transparent so you can see what's underneath. I'm glad I save all these plastic tubs whenever I buy vegetables or mushrooms, especially mushrooms. Okay, so I will dab some of the paint in the open spaces. Now I do get mixed reviews, mixed comments about my brush strokes. Some people love it, some people hate it. But that is the nature of art. It is subjective. So what might appeal to you might be offensive to others, but that's just how it is. It's a reflection of life. Because life isn't perfect. And it's full of contradictions. And I believe that art is a reflection of life with all its contradictions. And speaking as an old person, I think the more you know about life, the more you can handle creating art. Because they do go hand in hand, having life experience and having experience creating art. Okay. Now I will use my small brayer to even this out. Get rid of the high spots. Because the high spots tend to make blots and they're not attractive to look at. Okay. Okay. I just have to do a little bit of tidying up. All right. So here is the piece with the collage and the black markings. Okay, so I'll leave this for a couple of minutes, not too long. Okay, let's see how this worked out. It created a lot of textures. They look like waves almost. Very interesting. So we'll let this air dry and then I will recap. Okay, everybody, here's to recap. Now the piece has dried very well. And let me show you a close-up. Now there are some very interesting textures on the collage place here. This is three-dimensional effect. And the metallic bronze contrasts with the black and white. It looks almost like gold leaf. And then you can see some of this texture. It's like a dendritic texture. It's a very organic texture caused by the combination of the gloss medium and the bronze paint. They look like waves of the ocean. It's a very organic look. So I hope you liked this video. Please give me a thumbs up, share this with your friends, and please check out artwhisper88.com, which is my storefront. And the sales of these pieces help to keep my channel going. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you next time.